first video for Summer of Sketching. I'm Eric, this is my friend Charlie.
Hi.
And Charlie's gonna be participating this year.
I am.
For her first time. So this video is just gonna tell you a little bit about what to expect, how to get started, and answer some questions that you might have that Charlie's gonna ask me. So, so first of all, what Summer of Sketching is, if you've never heard of it, if you just stumbled upon this video. Summer of Sketching is a weekly drawing challenge that I run every summer, and the whole idea is that we spend so much time inside looking at our phones, looking at our computers, and I just wanted to challenge myself and challenge my friends to get outside, bring their sketchbooks, and just start working on drawing, because everyone feels like they want to get better at drawing, and they say, oh, I wish I could draw, and they don't do much about it, and they just keep complaining. So
I'm definitely guilty of that.
I was too. I mean, so yeah, hopefully this helps you get outside, get started, and develop a drawing habit. Hopefully by the end of it you have a full sketchbook of ideas that you can maybe make some other cool stuff with, you know? So, what questions do you have starting off?
Well, first of all, I think you should tell people when it starts.
Okay, good call.
How to participate.
Good call. All right. So, Summer of Sketching starts this week on Wednesday. Maybe by the time you see this, it's already started. Wednesday, June 21st, which is the first day of summer. Also happens to be Go Skateboarding Day. So I'll be doing both. And I'm going to be sending out weekly emails. So the email will have a little more instructions about that given week. Each email is going to have a prompt and also featuring some art from someone else who's participating. And the prompts will be a mix of technical challenges like draw with your left hand, or more of just a topic or a theme that you can draw on. So hopefully they give you some inspiration. You don't actually have to use the prompts if you don't want to, but the whole idea is that you take whatever idea you want to use, go out, draw on your sketchbook or on your iPad, it can be digital, and then post your drawing on Instagram with the hashtag Summer of Sketching, and that'll also enter you into a giveaway that I do every year at the end of the summer. Get some cool new sketching tools and swag and stuff.
Cool. Okay, I have a question. Because my biggest problem with sketching now, and drawing in general, is that I feel bad about myself when it doesn't look how I want it to. And so, what if I'm like, draw something one day and I don't like it, and then, I don't know, I get discouraged.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because if you don't have a ton of experience with drawing, you're gonna see something in your head and you're gonna try to draw it, and sometimes it's just not gonna come out the way you want it to. So just think about it as a practice. It's not going to be perfect every time. I don't think anything I draw is perfect. Every time I look back at my sketchbooks, I'm like, I see all the mistakes. So just embrace the fact that it's never going to be perfect, and that as long as you can do a little bit better than you did last time, like, that's improvement, right?
So week by week improvement rather than trying to be perfect every time.
Yeah, and a lot of times we see all these perfect polished sketchbooks or finished designs, and we're comparing our beginning stuff to their end stuff or their middle stuff they've been practicing for years. So how can you expect it to look like what you see in your head when you haven't been practicing? So set the bar kind of low. I'd say if you got out and you tried, like, that's a success. And I would encourage you to just share it anyway, because people are gonna really appreciate following along with the journey. And if you go really far back in my feed, you'll see a lot of really imperfect, ugly stuff anyway. So
well, you say ugly, but
you haven't seen it. You haven't. Never go back. Never go back.
Never scroll all the way to the end of an Instagram feed, right?
No. Yeah, it's bad luck. What else? What else you got?
Do I have? Okay. So what about, like, I know that lettering artists hate being asked this about tools. Like, what should we be using to draw?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because this year we're doing some special Summer of Sketching
That was not planned, by the way.
Yeah, so we made some beautiful handmade sketchbooks with a custom pattern. My friend Enon from Dapper Notes, he hand sews these sketchbooks. Whoa. If you look closely, that's like hand stitched right there. And this pattern was designed by me just for this project. The green one's dot grid, has little dots to give you some more structure, and then the pink one's blank. And also, we have special pencils that we use for the project. Totally not necessary, you don't have to use these pencils. And I'm glad you asked about tools, because they don't really matter that much. This is really just to make it a little more enjoyable.
Yeah, right, because this fits in your pocket, right? So you don't have to...
Yeah, I mean, you can use any pocket sketchbook. You can use your iPad. Just use what you have. If you want to support the project and you want to support the craft of handmade sketchbooks, pick one of these up, but it's totally not necessary. Also, we only made 100 of them, so they're probably going to sell out pretty quickly.
Yeah, exclusive.
Yeah, we might make more of them if people keep asking for them, but really I would just suggest that you use what you have and don't overthink it too much, because a good artist should be able to draw with a crayon or like whatever's lying around.
Yeah.
So, but also if you're doing lettering, the tool sometimes does affect the style. So if you're drawing with a pen, so it's okay to sketch in pen, you don't have to use pencil, and it happens to be like a calligraphy pen or a brush pen, it's gonna dictate how you want it to look. So think about what your taste is and what kind of artwork you want to make. So choose your tools based on that sometimes.
Maybe it could be good, I'm just thinking for myself, to try out a few different tools throughout the project. So I'm not just, I don't know, sticking with the same thing all the time. Could get me out of my comfort zone a bit more.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think that if you're gonna switch up the tools, you should think about what you do want to keep constant.
Yep, okay.
So, because if you have too many options, it gets to be a little overwhelming, and sometimes that just prevents you from starting because you can't choose what tool to use, or you can't choose what subject to draw. So for me last year, I just made a bunch of illustrations, all in pencil, all in my pocket sketchbook, and they were all about skateboarding, and it was a mix of illustration and lettering. And I wanted them all to have some humor. So those were my constraints. It was like skateboarding, humor, pencil, pocket sketchbook. So pick your list of constraints and try to stick within that. So that way by the end of the summer you have a cohesive set of drawings.
Yeah, and that's probably like a more interesting thing to then show people, right? Rather than just a random set of, you know, things that don't connect.
Yeah, it just shows focus. It's not necessary, but sometimes when you have those constraints, it's a little easier to be creative. And it's almost like everyone always says think outside the box, but if you don't have a box, then you can't really like even, how do you know what to do if you don't have a box to, yeah, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. And that's why I think I'm looking forward to your prompts as well, because I know we don't have to follow them, but if I'm stuck one week, there's no excuse because you're telling me what I can start with, like you're giving me a constraint.
Yeah, and hopefully the emails are also just a little encouraging.
Yeah. Because
some weeks we just don't feel like drawing, or we have so much going on and we don't have time for it. But trust me, if you commit to it and you do it week after week, it's gonna get really fun and you will get better, and you won't want to miss a week, because sometimes if you miss one, you tend to just fall off. It's like your New Year's resolution, you know?
Yeah, everyone goes to the gym for like the first 3 weeks in January, and then not at all.
Yeah, well, consider this your art gym, and I'll be your art personal trainer.
That's like a perfect end to the video.
Alright.
Is there anything else, like other information you want to get across?
Yeah, I guess if you have any questions about the project, if you're on my newsletter, you can just reply to any of those emails. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I'm really looking forward to this project. Hopefully this video gets you stoked to get started. Yeah, thanks for coming on and helping me out with this video, Charlie.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, Charlie's an amazing YouTuber, by the way. She does videos twice a week, and they're all about design and travel. It's just, you gotta go follow her too. All right.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.